Welcome to the Resilient Path with Fran Evans. Thank you to the ones who are walking this path with me and to the ones joining for the first time. It is good to have you here. Today's message is from Genesis 15. Genesis 15 opens immediately after Abram rescued Lot, received a blessing from Melchizedek, priest of God Most High, gave a tenth of everything to the priest of God Most High, and refused the wealth offered by the king of Sodom. After all of that, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision and said, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." I find the Lord's words interesting because Abram had just gone after powerful kings and rescued Lot. Abram showed courage, he showed loyalty, he showed strength. Abram was fearless in Genesis 14. Yet, God said, "Do not be afraid, Abram," at the opening of Genesis 15. That tells me there was something deeper going on with Abram. Why God encouraged Abram. Do not be anxious. Do not worry. Do not let fear control you. I am your shield. I am your protector. I am your defense. I am your very great reward. God Himself was the reward. His presence, His guidance, His peace, His protection. Abram immediately revealed what was troubling him. He said, "O sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless?" In other words, all the wealth, all the possessions, a beautiful wife, a growing household, yet no child, no heir, no son. Right away, we see what Abram was afraid of. Not kings, not battles, not enemies. He was afraid that the promise God made to him might never happen. In Genesis 13, God promised to make Abram's offspring like the dust of the earth. But time had passed. Life was moving forward, and Abram did not have any children. This is where I see both the human side and the spiritual side of Abram. The Lord had spoken, but Abram had not yet seen the promise. And sometimes that is where faith becomes difficult. Abram obeyed God enough to leave his country, his people, and his father's household. He built altars. He called on the name of the Lord. But the relationship was still growing. God was revealing Himself little by little. So God reassured him again. This time, God said, "Look up at the heavens and count the stars. If indeed you can count them, so shall your offspring be." And then we arrive at one of the most important verses in Genesis 15, verse 6. Abram believed the Lord, and he credited to him as righteousness. Abram believed, not because he could see it, not because he held a son in his arms, not because the promise had already happened. He believed because the Lord said it, and he trusted the Lord. Then God reminded him again, I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur, out of the Chaldeans. God is reminding Abram who he is. I am the one who called you. I am the one who brought you here. I am the one who made the promise. I have not forgotten. Yet Abram asks, "Oh, sovereign Lord, how can I know that I will gain possession of it?" So the Lord told him to bring a heifer, a goat, a ram, a dove, and a pigeon. Abram prepared them exactly as God instructed. Then something interesting happened. As the sun was setting, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a thick and dreadful darkness came over him. When I think about the word dreadful, I think about fear. I think about terror. I think about something heavy and unpleasant. And then God revealed what was to come. His descendants will be strangers in a land that was not their own. They will be enslaved. They will be mistreated for 400 years. Dreadful indeed. 400 years is a very long time. But even in the middle of that difficult message, God gave reassurance to Abram. God said he would punish the nation they served as slaves, and afterwards they will come out with great possessions. God told Abram that he himself will go to his fathers in peace and be buried at a good old age. Then God revealed something else to Abram. He told Abram, "In the 4th generation, your descendants will come back here, for the sins of the Amorites have yet to reach its full measure." Who were the Amorites? When I look back through Genesis, I notice the connection to Canaan and the descendants that came after him. This ties back to Genesis 9. Canaan is Ham's son, whom his grandfather, Noah, cursed into slavery because his son Ham had seen his nakedness. The sin of the Amorites have not yet reached its full measure, meaning the Amorites still has time. Nothing is random. Nothing is rushed. God is working according to his timing. Verse 17 says, "When the sun had set and darkness had fallen, a smoking fire pit with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces." The blazing torch passed between the pieces Abram had prepared as the Lord God had instructed. And on that day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram and said, To your descendants I give this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates, the land of the Kenites, the Kenizzites, the Cadmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. As I read Genesis 15, what stood out to me is not just the promise. It is the relationship. I see Abram's growth in his relationship with the Lord. Abram is afraid because he did not have any children, and he told the Lord how he felt. God reassured Abram that he will indeed have his own offspring. And Abram, fear turned to believe in the Lord, and it was credited to him as righteousness. God is patient. Promises take time. God repeated what he had already said because Abram needed reassurance. For me, Genesis 15 is about Abram who trusted the Lord, yet struggled with fear. Abram had wealth, land, influence, and a beautiful wife. But he was afraid he would remain childless. The Lord did not condemn Abram's fear. Instead, the Lord met Abram where he was, reassured him, reminded him of his promises, and revealed what was to come. Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward. In other words, the Lord is saying to Abram, do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will protect you, provide for you, and fulfill what I have promised. I encourage you to read Genesis 15 for yourself. What I have shared is my understanding. If you have read Genesis 15, what stood out to you? Did you notice something different? Did a particular verse speak to you? Feel free to share your thoughts by leaving a comment. As we are all growing, learning, and seeking understanding, one chapter at a time. Once again, this is The Resilient Path with Fran Evans. Stay tuned. Genesis 16, coming soon.